Hello, Internet. I'm here with something I've been thinking about. And it comes to parenthood. So, being a Swede, living here, we have a model where you only have responsibilities to your children, and your children are free. So, in the current system that we live under, the child is not owned by the family. So the family has no ownership. They only have responsibility to their children that they have created. This responsibility ends at 18. It can take a little bit longer depending on if they have finished school or not. But a parent's obligation ends there. This can end with this has positive and negative results. Let's say you're in a family that is controlling, or you were only made to be a slave to your family or something like that. You're nothing but workforce. So, and it's not for your benefit, it's only for the ones above you's benefit. So they didn't create children out of love, or that they wanted the children to have a nest to leave. You're stuck in the family kind of thing. That's what we are trying to prevent with individual freedom. Now, Sweden is failing on several degrees on this because we have laws that protects groups when we are trying to have an individual society. So a lot of laws are starting to... when I was young, we used to talk about culture crash. Now we have actual laws crashing against each other. Some laws that has been put in place are actually breaking against our basic law of freedom of speech, which is one of our 4 pillars, our constitution, so to speak. And you also have free organizations like companies and other free organizations with members that you pay a members fee. These are not forced to follow any laws when it comes to how their organization is built, but they can operate as long as they don't break certain laws, but your freedom of speech isn't necessarily protected. You would need to like sue the organization, and I don't even know if that's it's usually not worth the time or the money. I would say I don't know what money suing stuff in Sweden isn't really a good amount of money most of the times. Anyways, so back to family. When it comes to a child, we or need to take care of them, basically, is what I'm saying. So I totally lost track where I was going. I should have taken notes. Well, ownership. That's what it was about. So basically, you're a member of society. We don't really do community over here. We have free organizations, but we don't have communities per se. So you can join a members guild kind of thing. So this is an old way to create unity, even if you are not from the same family. So trying to work together. Now, the strength of this is to minimize slavery, kinda. But the negative effect of it is that you can also be abused of other people that are not your family. So one issue is in psychology. You need support. If you're going through a personal crisis, you are in need of family, friends, and a social network that can stabilize you. And that will help you go through your crisis better until you orient yourself to the future. So you stop focusing on your crisis and you move forward. Now, if you're alone, this becomes harder. So our model can be contradicting. Because you will have your freedom, but you can also end up alone. So it's so it depends. Do you want to be trapped in a social group rather than being alone? It's an actual option here. As long as you can fund yourself and your life, which is getting harder because of the economy in Sweden is getting kind of shitty. It's very expensive to live, to buy your own house or buying an apartment. It's so expensive. It costs like in the bigger cities. I mean, you need like 3 years of salary that you haven't spent a dime off. It's like the model we had might have been working a lot better when the economy was a lot friendlier to lower income people, which is not the case today. So individual freedom is starting to get crushed, not only by the economy but also by influence of clan-oriented structures that has somehow gotten politicians to push through laws that protects groups and help groups attack individuals with the system. Now, this has been a part of the workforce model that we have. We have the Swedish model, which puts the company and the unions in parties against each other. So it's not politics, it's company politics, basically. So you have the leadership against the workforce. The laws are based by politicians, kinda, but it's also they listen a lot to the organizations that has the negotiations. So it's not the politicians that negotiate; it's the unions that do it here. It has been a functional model. I don't know how good it has been historically, but my view of it is that it's not really working. It depends on which side of the story you are. It's if someone makes a decisions to your favor, of course you think it will work. As soon as someone does something against your favor, it doesn't feel like it works. And then you have boiling points when people are fed up and had enough, and that can happen on an individual level, it can happen on a group level. I mean, that's basically the reason why rebellions start, or a mutiny, or so forth. Human behavior. So the problems with the groups is that they can make decisions that goes against this ground law I was starting to talk about, the freedom of speech and the individual's freedom, kinda. You're a member of society. You're not a member of a clan or a family in the sense that you're stuck with them. So that makes parenthood not a benefit. Having children becomes more like getting a dog or a horse, or like you have to prepare for the expenses. You're the one getting the children. The problem, though, is that we have a welfare system that supports people, because we don't want to leave people in miserable situations. Because you can have a stable situation and then lose your job, and then you're sitting there with your children and a situation that you might not be able to afford to pay for, which is more real than ever. And basically, I think that the model we have today is gonna get very strained in the coming years. We are gonna have we need to have some kind of economic breakthrough, or this is gonna be getting worse. It's too much people, infrastructure is not keeping ahead, and we need to focus on stuff that people don't want to be a part of. So the freedom aspect is getting threatened, and the dialogue with the people isn't realistic. So as long as we're gonna have like fantasy talks from the leadership, where you basically keep the peace by agreeing with people that are living in delusional thoughts, and of course that needs to be debated, but the more taboo subjects you have, the harder it will get, especially if you everybody's offended today. As you offended me, now I win. It used to be, I'm offended. Why are you offended? Can you explain yourself? What did I say that offended you? And then they can explain why they're offended, or something like that. Now everybody is gonna make a report that's gonna make consequences against you. And those consequences can come from nothing that is illegal. So we have illegal and then improper behavior. So improper behavior used to be you get a talk, you get a sit down with each person, then you took the both persons into a room, and then they needed to come to terms with the situation together with the third party, and then move on. Today someone get punished, and it's so childish that it is the one who is most offended and the one who reports first that get the belief point, depending on what group you are. Me as a white man never get that benefit. When I have tried to report, when I get ill-treated, even when I get bullied by groups, I get neglected. Like I told people in workforces that I get like they fake stab me with knives, and they ignore me and let me go back on the floor. Like it's but if I say something that insults someone's culture, when I basically say your culture breaks our laws and that's bad, then I'm a racist. It's up, down, fucked I don't know why people think it's something to that's benefiting us. Their culture don't think about freedom of the individual. They think they own their kids. Females have to be like this and that. It's all controlling. Like it's if they don't understand that they have moved to a country that has more openness, and we bow down to their wills that are foreign, and it changes how our society works in a manner that we as originating from here are getting suppressed by the ones moving in. Like if you bow down to refugees, like where the fuck are we going? And where is freedom gonna take? Where is individual freedom gonna be? Are we gonna have the freedom where children can break free from their families, so to speak, which is hard enough when that freedom exists because of economic reasons and social reasons? You might not get a new social network, friends or family. A family you can create, but that doesn't mean that your children is gonna be your friend. You don't have kids to get friends. You don't have kids to make workers for yourself. You have to take care of me now because I created you. Like that's not how it works, at least here for now, hopefully in the future as well. So it's but we'll see. I mean, society needs to work too. So but I mean, if they're gonna put the bar in the sky of the standard, then standard of living, I mean, I don't think they are looking at the full picture here. And if they don't look at the quality of living aspect compared to prices, I think Sweden might have issues that the politicians can't control. And they might need to look at those and actually have a big thinking. It has been easy because of the good economic situation we've had over a long time. So I think that it has been very easy to be a comfortable politician. And I don't think life is anywhere close to comfortable anymore. So it's... Sure, there has been people that have hard lives before too. No society is perfect and will never be. But I think that some values are worth keeping. And if you as an individual have a culture, doesn't mean that your children will have that. I listen to metal music. That might be something that my children think sounds horrible and is not very good. For example, same with food culture, or how you dress, how you act, your political status, what you think and believe. Your children doesn't have to believe that, and stuff like that. So it's do you have a real emotional connection to your children? Do you actually care what happens to them, or did you just produce them? Do you disown them if you are like, oh, you don't live up to my expectations? Like, are you a parent really? Anyways, a little bit of a rant. But I've been thinking about this a lot since I've been studying about the subject. We have a lot of laws concerning children and family here. And I'm wondering how it's gonna hold up, basically. Goodbye.